This video will clear your concept about the anatomy of clavicle. You will be able to answer these questions. What is clavicle? How many articulations does a clavicle make? And what are they? What is its anatomical location and what are its main functions? What are bony landmarks of clavicle? And at last, you will be able to differentiate between the left side and the right side clavicle. Clavicle is also known as collarbone. It is classed as a long bone and can be palpated along its length. In thin individuals, it is visible under the skin. The clavicle is the only bone in the body that lies horizontally. Together with the shoulder blade or scapula, it makes up the shoulder girdle. The shape of the clavicle is somehow like S. Anatomically, clavicle extends between the manubrium of the sternum and acromion of the scapula. You may also say that clavicle rests horizontally at the sternum across the upper part of the rib cage and acromial end of the scapula, superior to first rib and glenohumeral joint. Clavicle makes two articulations, one medially and one laterally. The lateral articulation is known as acromioclavicular joint, which is made of acromion of scapula and acromion end of clavicle. The space between the joint is filled by articular disc made of cartilage. Medial articulation is known as sternoclavicular joint, which is made of large facet at the sternal end of clavicle and clavicular notch of manubrium. This joint also contains articular disc in between the space of the articulation made of cartilage. The clavicle has three main functions. Number first, that it attaches the upper limb to the trunk as a part of a shoulder girdle. Second function is that it transmits force from upper limb to the axial skeleton in movement, lifting of weight, or any other ADL activities. Clavicle also protects the underlying neurovascular structure supplying the upper limb. For example, the axillary artery and vein with its sub-branches, as you can see in the figure. Before starting bony landmarks of clavicle, let's consider its four surfaces. Superior surface, lateral surface, medial surface, and inferior surface. Superior surface of the clavicle is smooth, which contains conoid tubercle, acromion end and acromion facet of the clavicle at the lateral side, shaft of the clavicle in the middle, and sternal end and sternal facet of the clavicle at the medial side. Lateral surface contains acromion facet, which joins with the acromion of scapula. Inferior surface is rough as compared to superior surface. It contains conoid tubercle and trapezoid line on the acromial end, subclavian groove on the shaft of the clavicle, and impression for the costoclavicular ligament on the sternal end of the clavicle. Medial surface contains sternal end of the clavicle, which joins with the clavicular notch of the manubrium. Keep in mind that the shaft of the clavicle is thinner than the both of the ends, as you can see. In order to differentiate right side of clavicle from left side, first of all you have to find smooth surface of clavicle. Now put the smooth surface facing up or towards you. Note that acromial end is broader than the sternal end. So put the curve of the clavicle in the middle of the bone facing forward. Once you are done with that, if the acromial extremity is on the right, the clavicle is from the anatomical right. And if the acromial extremity is on the left, then definitely the clavicle is from the anatomical left. You can check it from the above view in front of you. If you have liked the video, so please don't forget to subscribe and give this video a big thumbs up. If you appreciate my work, I will definitely make more videos.